Welcome to Washington, East to West Sports. This is episode 7. I am Matt Beatty, joined alongside by Sean Beatty and Kevin Ardall. And gentlemen, what a game on Sunday. What a game on Sunday. Seahawks won 27-26. Tell us your thoughts. Reach out to us on Twitter. I am at Matt_Beatty. Sean, you're at Beatty_Sean, so we reversed that on our Twitter. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin is at Kev Believes with a 3 in the first E for believes, right?
Yes.
Making it easy, Kevin, on everybody.
Making
Love
it
it.
So let us know what your thoughts were on that crazy game. But gentlemen, let's jump right into it. So Seahawks 27, Vikings 26. And, we talked about this last week. You guys were very adamant that the Vikings need to throw the ball, and I said Dalvin Cook needed to run the ball, and it looked like Dalvin Cook was cooking, to say the least, until he went out with a groin injury. But the Seahawks were able to come back in that second half, win 27-26. I'm going to start first. Fourth down, Vikings, 2 minutes. Did you like the play call? Would you have made the same call if you're Mike Zimmer? Sean, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's the right play call. Your options are get a yard and win the game, guaranteed, or either way, give Russell a chance to beat you. And for me, if you're giving me 1 yard to win the game against the Seahawks in Seattle, I got to take it.
Yeah, I would say so. Kevin, do you agree with that?
Yes, but to an extent, I could see why people don't. Because at the same time, if you do kick the field goal and go up by 8, the statistical chances of getting a 2-point conversion are very rare. And then at best, they can only tie you, and then it just kind of goes to a coin flip. Because if you lose that coin flip, Russell's probably going to go downfield.
But yeah, you get 1 yard, though. It's 1 yard for 100%.
And that's why people need
1 yard for 100%.
And because people are like, oh, the ball can get – I'm like, especially in wet weather, you want to run that ball because it's so hard to tackle. And just Cody Barton made a ridiculous play along with Bobby and I think Mayo was the other one. But yeah, when it's 1 yard like that, 9 times out of 10, that's a first down.
If at any point in a game, I'm telling you need 1 yard and you will win this game, you will take it 100% of the time. It does not matter when or what. So when they were in that situation, they needed 1 yard to 100% win this game. You have to take that chance. Especially when you're underdog on the road in someone else's ballpark. You have to do that.
I agree. They should have. That was the right call. I don't like the play call particularly.
Well,
I thought
we'll
go back and look at some of the plays because based on what they did in the previous fourth down attempts, the first one they threw it to Justin Jefferson for first down. Next one they let Dalvin Cook run it for 1 yard, got the first down. I thought they would probably do like a bootleg and get Kirk Cousins outside and let him maybe take the first down. I was surprised they did a straight run, and it looked like Madison might have slipped. We'll look at the play here in a little bit, but that was probably the biggest play. And then once Russell got the ball, it was nerve-wracking, but he was able to drive him down the field. So I'll throw out a couple stats here. Russell Wilson, 20 of 32, 217, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 4 sacks taken for 27 yards total. Russell was the leading rusher with 5 carries for 58 yards. Chris Carson had 8 for 52 and a touchdown. DK was the leading receiver, 6 for 93 and 2. Tyler Lockett, another quiet game, 4 for 44. Chris Carson, 6 catches, 27 yards. So, Kevin, what did you think of the offense in this game?
Offensively, of course, we all saw the first half was kind of a shit show, and we're going to kind of go into some of the film, and I'll kind of break down a little bit further what I saw, and I have a couple of plays that we're going to kind of go out and look at. Russell, Russell was doing Russell things, but also at the same time, and we're going to kind of go over that, Russell needs to get the ball out when he's under pressure. And there was 2 plays in particular where he had the option to throw it out, and there was another one where he took a sack where there was somebody that was wide open for 25 yards, like minimum, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. Overall, in the second half, they because honestly, the Vikings did what they were supposed to do. They had 2 high safeties, took everything out over the top, and for some reason, even though we had to play in the first half for like 15 yards to like DK, like Russell's just going for deep bombs the whole freaking time, and everything was taken away, and it just caused to where we could literally do nothing. Um, you literally have to kind of mix that up when they take away that stuff because even though he does have a sexy deep ball, he has other things that he can do as well. So it was kind of a tale of 2 halves. I like the changes that they made in the second half, especially after when they did run, when they're coming out in the third and it failed. And they were all outside runs too, which kind of shows you that it's not all Travis Homer. And we're going to go into some of those plays as well, that the blocking was not great. I have one in particular that's going to make 12-man just look stupid just because the blocking is just atrocious. And it's with Carson in the backfield on an outside run. So overall, in the second, it was a classic Seahawks game. It's just Russell Wilson pulling shit out of his ass the last second to get us a win. And I hope it doesn't happen again for the rest of the season.
Oh,
So
Yeah, I would have to agree. Like this was, I mean, without a question, their worst offensive performance of the year. Now, granted, you guys were saying you want to let Russ cook and have him, not run the ball a lot. Well, this game script went well for that. It just they couldn't really throw the ball as well as they had been in the previous games, but they were averaging 7.8 yards a carry when they were running the football, and Russell averaged 11.6. So it kind of opened up their running game a little bit, but overall, Russell and the offense looked awful in the first half. They were able to get together and, put together some quick scores and take that lead in the third quarter. And then, that miraculous drive in the fourth quarter to win the game. But Sean, what do you think of the offense?
Kevin mostly touched on it. The offense was super sloppy. They were very lucky at times too. I also noticed that when you said Tyler had a soft, quiet game and DK had a much louder one, I would say that we'll get into this. They played 2 high safeties sometimes, but they also kind of cheated a little bit where one of the 2 safeties would kind of play in the box, like a little bit lower in the box to take away the tight end over the middle, and the other one would cheat usually to Tyler's side. So basically at that point, Tyler's getting essentially double teamed and DK is being left one-on-one, which is evident that, and what I kind of want more from DK in the future is he had 11 targets and only caught 6 of them, whereas Tyler was only targeted 5 times and he caught 4 of them. So basically every time you throw it at Tyler's going to catch it. DK, now I'm not saying like he dropped all those. I mean, obviously some were bad throws, some were throwaways, and they're just the nearest target, but it's DK, if he's going to get one-on-one coverage, needs to be making some more of those opportunities when he gets them. Although this game, the weather was sloppy. Russell was really off. I think this game was more Russell, like just being a little bit off. And to Kevin's point, when we want Russ to cook, Russ isn't going to be perfect every time. But it was nice to see them play so bad and still be able to, or at least Russell not play great and still win the game.
True.
Oh, and outside run blocking is terrible. Kevin's totally right. That is like atrocious. So we need to anything outside the tackles or like 2 yards outside the tackles, we need to never call it again.
Also, another thing that the O-line does need to work on, we only had one good one the whole game. Our screen setups are atrocious. Like, we are terrible at setting up the screen with the O-line. It's not good. We had one in the fourth quarter with Tyler where he got like 12 yards.
That was a great play call. I love that play call.
And the rest of our attempted screens were either sniffed out or just terrible in setup. And it was.
If they're sniffed out, Kevin, do you think that's the offense kind of giving it away? That I would say that's kind of giving. If the defense knows it's coming, that's more of like that they see that it's on them giving it away.
One of them, Pochik comes off the block a little too soon, and then it frees up the defender to go after Russell, and then Russell has to scramble right and gets caught by the guy that's on whoever our right guard is, freaking Lewis, and sacks Russell. It was an attempted screenplay because you see Carson going to the outside, but Pochik came off the block a little too soon, and Russell just had nowhere to go, and it just, yeah. And we can kind of look over that a little bit later. So,
And let's touch on the defense, which I'm not sure if you guys are going to agree with me, but they were definitely the better of the two sides of the ball in this game. KJ Wright had a big game, fumble recovery and a pick. I'm sure we'll show that clip. Cody Barton led the team in tackles, along with Bobby Wagner with 14 total. Shaq Griffin had 8. Ryan Neal had 8. And then a couple sacks by Demontre Moore and Benson Mayoa, as well as LJ Collier. So defense, I thought, was overall pretty good, especially in that first half when, all that momentum was on Minnesota's side and they held them to 2 field goals to keep it within a 2-score game. I thought that was really big to kind of keep the Seahawks mostly in it, even though they do have a, quick score offense now. It still would have gotten out of hand, I think, if they had gotten a touchdown in that first half and gone up a little bit more. But what do you guys think of the defense? Sean, I'm going to throw it to you first.
I'm going to disagree a little bit. I think why we only get that many points is the whole why Pete Carroll, that style of coaching is bad. They dominated for an entire half and only got 13 points. If they had thrown the ball more, they would have got more points. The biggest issue is because Kirk Cousins' EPA per play was 0.22 versus Russell's 0.09. Like Kirk Cousins was the best player in the game yesterday, basically. I mean, other than like wide receivers who have more EPA and all that stuff, but like throwing with him because Thielen and Jefferson and all these guys are really good. And our secondary is not. Like they were very efficient when they threw the ball. The problem was like they ran it so much so early that it killed lots of the clocks. Those drives were working. They were getting points. But every time you kick a field goal, it's not as valuable as scoring that touchdown. And they would just wasted 2 of their big 3 drives on just kicking field goals. And as we see, it just takes like 30 seconds, touchdown, and you nullified 2 drives. That's it. And so they weren't capitalizing. They weren't doing it. So we got fortunate that they're so conservative on Minnesota's side. I will say Jaron Reed also, Matthew, is one that you forgot. He was great. I really like Jaron Reed. Griffin in the pass rush was very good. They dropped him a couple times. I still don't like that. I'm going to talk about that, but I think that, like Kevin said, the opposite. I think whenever they bring in Griffin, Minnesota would run a screen, knowing that Griffin's going to just rush the passer, and they would kind of attack that, and it's kind of a giveaway, I think, at this point. Mm-hmm. Neal, his game was up and down. I thought it was very interesting. His tackling and his route recognition was kind of like all over the place. Like he'd be good and then be terrible. It's also like that they blitzed him the same day they were blitzing Jamal Adams. Like they basically haven't changed since Jamal Adams left. They're just having Neal do the same thing. Neal isn't as effective, but it's still showing that like he's still pretty effective at it. He's getting unblocked rushes at quarterbacks. So, I mean, maybe that's like something that we're doing better as a scheme versus like individual player of Jamal Adams, but it's something to look forward to. And Cody Barton had a lot of crap on the internet of like, he's terrible, all this other stuff. I don't know if he had a good game, but my issue with Cody Barton is he is on his back a lot. Like he's like not deciding what to do and he gets blocked. Every time he decides, he's like, I'm going for this hole and will attack the blocker. It's great. The problem is he just needs to do that more. He is often like caught back and then the O-lineman's pushing him backwards. Like just hit him like hard and make that cut and go like Bobby. He just kind of like is a little indecisive, I think, at times. And when he shows aggressive, he's great. But yeah, KJ was absolutely amazing as well. I think KJ was the best defensive player on the field, and Bobby's been great this entire season. So it's been better, I think, Matthew, than you said, but I think Minnesota did us a lot of favors.
Well, I said on the last show that if Dalvin got over 100 yards, they win. He didn't because he didn't play the whole game. But
Madison did.
I mean, Madison absolutely slaughtered the Seahawks defense on the ground. And I mean, I'm just going to throw out total yards. Minnesota 449, Seattle 314, total plays 83, 52 to Seattle, 201 rushing yards compared to 124 rushing yards, almost doubled the time of possession. That is how you beat the Seahawks. That is how you beat the Seahawks.
Can I point
execute it as well as they should have?
Can I point out some things? Can I use other stats?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the worst running back in the game was Dalvin Cook. His EPA was minus 1.11 in the game. Madison's was minus 0.1. Chris Carson's was actually positive. Chris Carson was the best running back in the game. So, like, just because you're feeding a guy a bunch of carries, Dalvin Cook didn't even average 4 yards a carry. Like, these things matter.
I mean, he only played a half of football.
But it wasn't going up, Matthews. The EPA isn't going up. Like, he's still, like, not effective. He didn't have significant play. He only had it 35% of the time. He's only getting a first down 24% of the time he touched the football. Like, first downs matter, and he's not – when you were handing him the ball, he wasn't getting first downs. That's how it works.
I mean, I don't know what you saw, but they were dominating with the run game.
What we saw, again, you want to look at your old school numbers, he didn't even average 4 yards a carry. He was the worst running back in the game. Like, what are you talking about?
Okay, he didn't play the full game. Like,
but you said they dominated the first half. He's the only one who played in the first half, and he was the worst.
But they were up 13-0. That's all that mattered. Like, I don't – your EPA is, like, a decent argument, but they're up 13-0. Like, what does it matter?
There's other things that went into that, Matthew. Like, the Seahawks weren't doing anything. Like, that's the other factor in that situation.
Kevin, interrupt us. Tell us what you thought of the defense.
Okay. Yeah, just to kind of summarize, I think Barton did have a solid game. I think KJ had the best game out of everybody. Like, and he was literally like, from the first play. So the first play by the Vikings, he shut down. Like, it was KJ on the stop. And then he just was in and out everywhere. But overall, like, I watched every play that had Barton as a stopping, and like, Barton had some nice tackles. It's just getting off. A lot of times he gets held up in the block a little bit too much sometimes on running plays, and needs to learn how to get off to make plays. And he did once. He actually did get off once and fucking charged and actually stopped to run.
That was my other note, Kevin. Perfect. Yep.
So he has the capability of doing it. Like, just like the defensive coaches needed to kind of teach him how to be more consistent at that. Also, a little stat I noticed too, on both fumbles by Kirk, we only rushed 4.
Well, let's be honest. The last one wasn't a fumble, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, but like, yeah.
But still, I mean, the fact that they actually were in that.
Yeah.
Benson can do that. I don't know if Benson's been watching like Cliff Averill tape or something, like, but props to him for being able to recognize when he can, be able to mess with the quarterback's arm and possibly cause a fumble, or a duck in the air so that could be picked. He kind of has that knack, so that's a good ability that I like to see him kind of continue to be consistent with, and have the D-line adjust to where they can kind of get him in those positions. But I thought that was impressive, the fact that they only rushed 4 on both those plays. With the D-line being so terrible, it kind of shows that there's a little bit. I'm not saying that they're dominating right now, but I'm just saying it's progress. It's a little bit of progress.
I will say the last play, I wouldn't hold too much into it because he has to hold the ball forever because they have to run crazy long routes because there's like 10 seconds left. But still, like, you're right. The showing that they don't have to blitz somebody to get some pressure was.
But the first one that KJ recovered and took into the end zone that they called dead. Yeah, like there's.
He had another one where he did a really nice stunt around Reed, and he didn't get the sack or anything like that, but it was like right up in his face and blew up a play before it started too. So Benson had a pretty good game too.
I might be mistaken, but I believe also on the interception with KJ, there was only 4 rushing as well.
I will say, I don't know if it was like the pass rush. I think KJ just made a crazy play. I think
on that, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was more just because it was a pretty decent ball too. Like, it's a first down if KJ's not there. It's just KJ makes an insane play.
I'll say they're a little bit more consistent. Like, is it Monet?
Yeah. 92.
And then who was the other guy that had a couple of quarterback rushes? They're a little bit more consistent on getting pressure. They didn't get there, but they, especially once after the first turnover and the Vikings were like, oh, okay, we got to, get going now. And they started doing a little bit more passing. Like, then, like, once they stopped the run for 3 yards and then went to passing, like, you can tell just like he was a little unease. I'm not saying like he was shitting his pants, but, Kirk Cousins was not comfortable. Let's put it like that. To where I think it caused a little bit of mistakes. And also, like I said, KJ made a hell of a play on that pick. I don't even think Russell could have got that around him, to be honest.
Well, let's take a look at that KJ pick here. So let's make this a little bit full screen. So, looking at this, it's all about that base as per usual.
I don't think this is the KJ pick, Matthew.
This is the KJ pick.
No, it's not.
I'm pretty sure it is because I just marked it on here. Let's
No. KJ's up at the top on the play, Matthew.
Wait, what? I just clicked on the play that had KJ interception. What?
That was the Dalvin Cook getting hurt play.
It's also a very important play. Kirk Cousins, it was 8-19. Right here?
Yeah, right there.
I swear I just hit that. Okay. Well, anyway, here is the KJ pick, everybody. So
Yeah, see, there's KJ at the top there.
as you see, they got the play action going here. KJ doesn't bite, stays in his zone. And then this is like just an athletic play by KJ here, just getting up and getting this ball with the crossing route right behind him. And I mean, Kirk Cousins, that's a bold challenge right there on that throw. I don't think you should make that throw at all with KJ standing right there.
Dude, there's KJ's a really long linebacker. I don't know if there's many more linebackers that can make that play. I think it's a totally fine throw. It's just KJ made a play. Like it's what it is, man. Like he probably could have made it a little bit more perfect of a throw, but again, like it's a good enough throw in that situation, but just KJ made a play.
I mean, how
many linebackers are gonna one hand back shoulder catch this ball?
I'm not saying many linebackers can do that, but where are you leading the receiver here? Where's the ball? It's behind him. This is a bad throw.
He can't lead him because he's already in the sideline.
No, wrong again. You throw it here. You don't throw it here. You throw it here to the sideline. Why are you trying to throw a lob over the player?
I can't see it because of our picture.
Oh, just move it. But my issue is
throw it to the sideline. Not
if you throw it real hard, he's not going to get there. And I think that's what he thought. But like he's trying to get over the top so he can run. Because look at all that space. Let him catch it and go.
I mean,
if he catches this, how far is he going?
Yeah, that's the thing. If he catches it, you've got a guy in front of him. Like it's a bad throw. It's just a bad throw.
It's not a bad throw. I'd say it's 80% KJ. It's 80% KJ at least.
I'm gonna give KJ some credit here, but that's a bad throw. That's a bad throw. What's the next?
Let's be honest. The worst pick in the game was Russell Wilson's. Let's just throw that out there.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I say that's a decent throw, but KJ just makes a play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see what next we want to show. Which one do you guys want to see next? You guys have any? Anything you particularly want to watch? Maybe that fourth down play you want to go to?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go to that fourth down play in the end or towards the 2-minute warning here.
It is a 2-minute
here.
Yeah.
All right. So let's share some screens here. All right. So, again, Jumbo, you know what's coming here. It's not really disguised. I thought they might, on this play, just do a bootleg, have Madison come this way and have Kirk come this way and give him a couple options with maybe Irv Smith coming across and or Rudolph. But, they just were like, hey, we're just going to put the ball on the ground and try and run right past you or right through you, but it didn't work. What are you guys seeing on this play? I'll slow it down here.
Well, the box is pretty stacked, as you can pretty much see.
And that's the problem. If you're going to run this, I would have two receivers and it's spread out because you're again, like kind of like the Cam Newton thing, you're allowing the Seahawks to put all their defenders in the box. Like Kevin just said, by bunching it up, you're just like, hey, here you go, Seattle.
And you're trusting your backup running back with your O-line, who's not really particularly good, to make that. Now, to give credit at the same time too, it's rainy, so it should be hard for them to tackle. But at the same time too, it's also makes it hard to block because everybody's just slippery. Everybody's just wet and it's slippery. So. And honestly, like at this point, because he's just so full head of steam, like you have the option to cut back there and go right.
Go to the other view, Matthew.
Yeah, we'll play it out here.
Because if he just goes to the right of the tackle, like, does anybody stop him?
But the thing is, like, I don't know if can he make that decision super fast? Because Barton hit that guy super fast. Like,
that's true.
Barton sets the edge, so Madison, I believe, feels like he has to come here. And
yeah,
there is
Yeah,
just a tiny hole, but Bobby is aware.
I think
I
Bobby,
could
yeah,
say
Cody and Bobby make the play.
a little bit more experienced back could possibly have seen the option of going out right and made a cut.
Can you rewind it just a little bit, Matthew, like where when he gets it?
But I think he was just he had his mindset of where he wanted to go and just wanted to shove it in there because he thought he could for 1 yard, just power it in with his muscles, and he was denied.
Because well, the issue with that is like because you're taught not to do that. Because let's say he's got to make the decision right now. Cody could easily just go this way and the play's over. Cody engaged with him, so yeah. As soon as you're right here, Kevin, but he has to make the decision now, not
You
like.
don't know if the block is going to be if 30 is going to get blown up, or
But what I'm saying
Well,
is Madison has to make that decision now.
I think he sees
it now.
this. I think he sees this, and he thinks that Mayo is gonna be pushed this way, and then this guy's just gonna come take Cody out of the play, and then there's just enough of a hole. All he's got to do is get right here.
Yeah.
So I imagine he's just gonna lower his shoulder and just try and get there.
How you don't get fourth downs is you bounce things outside. Well, I agree with you, Kevin. It looks bad, but I think right here he has to make that decision, and right here he's like, I think we're good, because all Cody has to do is not get hit by this guy, and that's it. It's 1-on-1 Cody in the open field.
But he runs in.
I think
to
that's
the fullback,
the problem.
which is the problem here. I think he might have been thinking to bounce it outside, like you're saying, Kevin, and didn't make the decision in time. That's what it kind of looks like now that you point that out.
What Kevin said is the weather. If he doesn't even matter if he runs this guy over, just run into him with a full head of steam, and you should get the yard. He just kind of like falls over as soon as he hits him here. See, like he just falls over. If he just keeps his feet moving and going, he probably gets that first down.
like I think if Dalvin Cook, a more experienced back, is in there, then that's probably a first down. But unfortunately, that's what happens when you have backups and stuff like that. They just don't have the reps and the experience.
Madison played a ton.
I know.
He did play a ton. He got a lot of reps, but I would have to agree with Kevin.
In the past, though, Madison's played a ton.
He's only a second-year back, though. I mean,
but he played a ton last year.
I mean, a ton for a third down back, I guess. Sure.
But
so let's go. You guys want to look at the DK touchdown or the DK fourth down play first for the at the end of 2 minutes? The 2 minute drive.
Madison played 13 games last year.
Well, I'm not. He was a rookie though, and like he sits behind a guy who gets like 400 touches. It's like he gets touches, but he's still not experienced. So touchdown, or let's start with this one. We'll start with this play here. So this is the fourth down to DK for the first down, and this is a crazy play because I mean, as you can tell, and as the Vikings should have done, they're basically just playing this line right here with this guy and this guy and this guy. Like keep everything in front of you, and you're fine.
Okay, before we start, this is Cameron. I can't pronounce it. Dalazier, the rookie from Mississippi State. He's the MVP of the Seahawks game right here. This guy is what decided who won the game for the Seahawks. I don't know if I've seen someone handle a ball in the air worse than he did, but we're gonna see it in a second. They are just ballsy playing Harrison Smith so far up. They are basically daring them to throw 1-on-1 to DK and Russell.
Well, I mean, as you see in the beginning, Harrison fakes the blitz, comes back out here, so he has to like absolutely retreat. It seems like to the middle of the field.
He's out of position. They already have a guy here too, so I don't know why he's running this way where he already has help there.
Going to cut off like a slant seam, so to speak.
But that's this guy. Like he needs to sit here. Like
Also have Tyler there too. I mean, I'm talking of DK taking the slant.
And also, what's I mean, I'm surprised they only put 3 wide receivers out here. Now that I'm watching this play again, I am surprised they have so much blocking. But I imagine if you have DK and Tyler out there,
and you trust Russell to run for it too. If like they're gonna let the guys go by and Russell can run for it.
Also, it's already been mentioned on Twitter too. Can we give props to Homer for being Secret Service right there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So this down here, great coverage. The ball's in the air. Like this should be. DK has almost no separation because Russell throws the ball like about here, right? I think it's where it about lands on the 40. So he's got perfect coverage here, and then he just stops looking. And I don't. What is he covering? What is he?
He's not facing the ball. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
What? Like he at no point decided to play the football.
Oh, okay.
Like, I mean, I'll take it, but like
He's just
that's
trying to.
so-
He's not contorting his body, whereas DK is absolutely ready for this pass. Like he overplayed it. I think
He horribly misplayed that football. Like, and I mean, credit for the Seahawks for attacking the rookie, but I don't think that's going to happen a lot more this season, especially on fourth down. So, could we not get in that situation?
And then Homer with that what was that corner blitz there picking it up. So
protect
as
the
you guys
president.
said, yeah.
Yep.
So well
across the formation, like Kevin said too. Like that's not like just on his side. He had to go all the way across.
But bench Homer, bench him.
But like I'm just, it just blows my mind how misplayed that was. I mean, DK did not hide it was coming to him. He stops and like literally stopped looking there for a second, and then, I mean, he was in position the whole way, like, and that's fourth down. Like he plays that ball decently. That's game. Like game's over.
Yeah, I mean, that's I mean, when I watched this play, I was surprised the Seahawks got it. To be honest with you, I know Russell's good, but I was kind of down on this one.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So I will take it.
Fair. All right, so let's go to that 4th and 6 where they take the lead here. Sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
I was going to say, it just heads up by Russell, knowing where the weaknesses are on that team.
Attack the rookie, yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna put this.
You got one-on-one with DK and a rookie. You take that fucking all day.
They did, and they didn't complete it a lot, like I said, Kevin. Like, which was kind of surprising. They tried. They completed half the time.
Yeah, I know. It's like, how much of that is on the rain? How much of that? Because we all already Russell's kryptonite is rain.
Well, I mean, again, though, DK's catch rate this year is only 57%. He's only catching about 50 of the balls thrown to him this year, and that only one of the games has had rain in it. So,
sure.
I mean, he dropped the play before this, or 2 days plays before this.
Mm-hmm.
Although Tyler dropped the play right before that, but
I mean, so this is just a quick slant here by DK that just kind of opens up here once he goes across the form.
Now, can you pause it? I know Russell already threw it, but can I say how like Tyler is just standing there? I mean, DK makes the play. He makes a crazy play, but man, like so much easier if he just throws it right there.
Well, I don't think he's as initially open. He does kind of go by the guy here,
well, he is pressured.
Moment. Yeah, that's true. He's got to get rid of it quick, so it just doesn't develop in time for Tyler to get open. But that was a pretty. I mean,
it was a ballsy
window.
It was a pretty ballsy throw.
Yeah, I mean,
Russell making money there.
That's just a trust
and DK
thing.
making his money.
Yeah. And I mean, you see it kind of develop here as he goes across, and just, I mean, there's no one else is going to catch that but DK. So, great throw by Russell, and
other than Lewis at the end, like good pass protection too. Lewis kind of gets steamed at the end, but overall, everybody else.
It was long enough. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we highlighted some offense. What defensive plays you guys want me to go to?
Let's do the. We already did the KJ interception. Can we do the 3 minutes in the third quarter?
3 minutes in the third. All right. Anybody out there want to highlight a play for us? Let us know what you think of some of these plays that they had at the game. So third quarter, 3 minutes. We're gonna go there now. What play is this? You remember?
This is a screen that is perfectly blown up.
This right here or this right here?
Wait, did I write it
short
wrong?
right to Chris Carson.
No, it should be. Oh yeah, first quarter. First quarter. Sorry.
First quarter, 3 minutes.
Yeah, I wrote third. I wrote third, but it's the
Right.
You gotta
this
slow
one?
down. No, we're on the Seahawks are on defense.
Oh, Seahawks are on defense. Okay, gotcha. This one right here.
No, that one, right there. Yep.
Okay.
I got to write when the play ends because that's how they work it here. So, but see, it starts at 3 minutes. That's why I have it at 3 minutes. But so this is what Kevin was talking about. His guy Cody Barton's right here. This is a play Cody Barton makes. Oh, now you made me look stupid, Matthew. He's right there, right in the middle. So he could play this a little bit.
Oh,
some other people already touched on this online too, but like this is great play recognition and he's super aggressive once he sees the play. So they're running a screen. They've already set it up. Boom, like right there. He's making his break first. Bobby hadn't made his break yet. Cody Barton actually made the break first, and he's in this situation. He's gonna just go and beat the guy. He makes a decision, goes, and then wraps him up.
Yep.
It's perfect. Like
very nice play, Bower.
He actually recognized it before the two veterans did. He was the first linebacker to recognize the screen, and it was.
Patch him.
The rewind to just play it full go one time.
You want the other view?
No, just the other. Actually, the other view is perfect. The first view is perfect. Just play it like full speed. Like again, just watch. You got KJ down here, and you got Bobby right next to him, and he's gonna recognize it first and cuts. See, he cuts way before Bobby does, and he makes the tackle. Beats both linemen and makes the tackle. Well, that's a play that shows potential. Like Kevin was saying, like there's potential there. Like,
well, wasn't Cody? I mean, I guess sort of criticized for last game for not playing as well as he is capable of.
I think Kevin would agree too, right, Kevin? Like, it's just that like in a situation like this with a guy who is playing on and off, I want to look for flashes. I don't need him to be perfect because he's not getting consistent playing time each year in and year out. Like, show flashes, then if he gets the playing time, then maybe you can start judging him on like his overall performance. But he's starting to get that now.
Kevin, give me a play you want to see.
I'm going to throw out a couple here that we're going to kind of go. Go to 432 in the first.
Oh boy, 432 in the.
Why
do you do that?
Should be the clock.
I want to pull this. There we go. Okay. 232 in the first.
432.
Oh, 432 in the first.
Yep, right there.
Okay.
It's 3rd and 24, boys and girls. All right.
So this is just the draw play that they. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this one too.
24.
Go ahead.
What the fuck are we doing here?
That's Kevin's commentary.
Now, okay, so I kind of get because it's slippery. I think they're wanting to get enough yards to get into field goal range. Homer gets 5 yards on this play, and then we're just like, fuck it, punt it. And it's like he got 5 yards. And if your thought is to do a field goal here, why not just go for the field? Why are you punting it then at that point? If you thought he was going to get more than 5 yards, and just throw the damn ball.
That's what I was going to say, Kevin. Like I think they didn't kick it because it's raining. But if they would have tried to kick it, why didn't they just throw it in the first place?
This play right here is just full stupidity. Like what the hell are we doing? Stop.
Well, I mean, I think what he's trying to do is catch him off guard and gain about 10 yards of the field goal. I'm not saying it's the right call, but I think that's the strategy here.
But DK down here, this slant is going to get you 7, 8 easy. They're going to give it to you.
You have more of a chance of getting a first down or getting better field goal yardage by a throw. And
but like they're all playing off. Throw it like a slant is free 8 yards.
We do this so often that the defense knows this already. Like most defenses know that we like to do stupid draws like this, and it never happens. Like, just stop. We got to stop this crap. Like
now, I'm curious if this is a shoddy play call or a Russell audible, because I mean, as you can see, he brings him into the backfield.
That's true. It could have been an audible.
And it could have been an audible. And then he recognizes something here. Calls something else, it looks like. So I think oh man, I just messed that up, didn't I? Yeah.
Watch Smith calling back off right there with his hands too. What 22?
Yeah.
Watch his hands. He's like, okay. He's like that. Wait, and then now he goes for it. Yep.
And I think Harrison recognized what Russell was calling and just blew it up. So
I don't know. I don't know if you blitz in that situation if you know it's a screen though. Like, because that's how you lose to the draw. That's how you lose the draw.
So I'm just, these plays right here are just going to call out bad coaching and just bad decision making. Now please go to 3:46 left in the first.
I will say this, Kevin. On your own, like 10, I'm fine with it because you're not getting the first down anyways.
Yeah, but the fact
But
that we're almost in the red zone, like what the hell?
we're not also in the red zone, but we're in their territory. Yeah, I agree. In this situation, this is terrible. But like when people are like, it's third and 30 from our own 15, I'm like, only bad things happen there. Just run and punt.
We go old Seahawks style. And we punt them to the 1 here.
Can I say something real quick here? Michael Dixon was a beast.
Oh yeah,
and I give him credit.
Big Dixon energy for sure.
Where are you going, Matthew? Where are you going?
Wait, did I just hit something wrong? Oh, whoops, my bad.
So it's 3:46 in the first.
There we go. Okay, get out of here.
So right. This is literally their first possession after that crap, and they punted it. And every 12th man here, we're gonna think that wet grass. Just watch this.
Oh yeah, I know this play. Yeah.
Right yeah, this is where Dalvin.
Because this saves a touchdown. This literally saves a 99-yard touchdown. Well, actually,
I mean, this
Diggs is back here, but yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think Diggs is gonna catch Dalvin if he gets outside here.
He'll absolutely catch him. He just needs to slow him down.
Oh.
And I mean,
it could have been, but I honestly think it goes for a touchdown on this.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit! Like, what are we doing there, boys and girls, for defensively wise? Like,
well, Kim, I think Kevin, you've got to give some credit to the Vikings on this blocking. I mean, that is absolutely
on everybody.
Yeah, that is great blocking, and it's just Dalvin one-on-one, and that's exactly what you want. And it
one-on-one with a corner.
Yeah, exactly. So he just kind of slips, and he knows it. Like as you can see when he gets up, he is. He's like, man.
He's so pissed. Yeah, I got it. Holy crap! We just got saved. Next one I'm going to point out of all his sacks, the main one I wanted to do is 2 minutes left in the second. Go to 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning. This one right here?
Yes. All right. And do the we're going to watch. I want the first half, and I want you to pause it right when he steps up.
You want this view? Okay, let me.
Yep, that's the view I want.
This down here. I'm gonna slow it down for you.
So Russell's main thing here is to just go deep on this defense right here, and this is the main reason why we needed to switch it up. And we honestly,
they're all right here. Why would you just they're all telling you they're like we're covering deep.
Mm-hmm. Now, keep it going, keep rolling.
It's rolling. It's going slow mo though. Yeah. You have to snap it here.
You can speed up till they snap it.
No, you gotta watch all the pre-snap stuff. That's where the beauty part is. Look at how deep those safeties are. Look at how deep those safeties are.
God, he's still cheating.
Harrison's on the 50 right now.
I mean, to be fair, they have like a bajillion yards to go. But was it third down? What down is it?
This is third down.
This is third down. They could have got a first down off of this.
So I mean,
keep
like 3 guys out here, and then Homer slips out. That's okay. And we've got a tight end down here. Yeah.
Going and now stop. Right here, Russell's going to try to step up and throw a bomb, and look who is wide the fuck open with nobody for 15 fucking yards. Let me get my annotation right here.
Is it Mr. Disley down here?
And that too, to be honest. You can go both ways. Honestly, there's nobody. There's nobody.
The only problem is neither of them get the first down, though.
I think you have a first down right here.
At the bottom? No, there's no way.
What? He's going to come. Well...
Rewind a little bit.
He hasn't thrown the ball yet.
But still, that's still your best option right here. Because right now he's on the block.
Oh, God. There we go.
Kevin, you got to clear your stuff, man. I can't even see it.
Clear it. But at least you have an option. Like this.
This is something that I would agree with you, Kevin. I mean, just drop it down and take some yards. Like I don't.
There's no point of taking yards when you're going to punt it. The issue is
like right here, you're closest right here, and you have Homer in wide open field.
My issue is like if you're going to run that play, why'd you only have one guy run past the sticks, anyways?
I mean, 3rd and 24, like that's a low percentage play, and you're just hoping to get lucky, honestly.
My issue is then it's basically punting anyways. So why didn't Russell just bomb it deep to Tyler and see what happens?
I kind of like what Kevin said because you've got Disley with room to run. He can break some tackles and maybe get there. Like that's your best option.
He's got to break 3. But my issue is like I think the best option is PI against someone.
Yeah,
Against
that too, and he never even tried that as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He needs to do that more often.
Either one, but like in his one option where the one time where his check down is open because he did a check down earlier to Carson for 5 yards on one of these before he got sacked and it got nothing and then we punted. Like the one time your check down is open and has the possibility of getting you a first down, you just try to step up and just take a sack. Like you need to make those decisions quicker, Russell. And if not, throw the goddamn ball out. Like we can't stop. We need to stop taking these dumb sacks. It's just, it kills the drives and it literally just kills our momentum and stuff
the drive was over, Kevin. It was 3rd and 30. But I mean, I agree with you on most. I don't mind him holding it on this possession because, like, again, you're gonna need a miracle to get this first down. But in general, yeah, he needs to just make the decision and go on these, like, because again, they say that the O-line's better. I think the O-line's a little bit overrated right now. I'm saying graded because of Pro Football Focus. I called them out. But like, just get rid of it, like Kevin said. Like, he doesn't need to hold it forever, or run, like one or the other. Pick one. Make the decision.
Yeah, it just he tries to sometimes he just tries to extend.
Can you go 7 minutes into the first?
Okay. Yeah, we'll do one more and then we'll take a break here.
It's probably like 6:30 or whatever it is because I write down when the play.
7 minutes.
Is it a sack or
no? It's nothing. I just wanted to show. It's the one below. It's the one below, right
this
there.
One?
Yep.
Oh yes.
Well, it's more of like I think Kevin. It's going to be a little like. This is showing kind of how they guarded it most of the day. So Tyler is right here, and DK's at the bottom. So keep going. Like they all cheated over here. Like even the safety, the other guy. So go back a little bit. They're telling you early in the game who their priority is. Back a little bit more. Yeah, like look at. They're all looking this way. DK is solo all day. You need to attack this all. As soon as this started happening, you need to come down here. Like this was common in the first and second quarter, even in the third quarter. They are telling you there are 3 people covering Tyler Lockett right here. DK, you need to eat, and that's the Seahawks' job to get it to him at this point.
Well, as the play kind of develops, I think you're right. You got to get the ball out.
No, right? I'm not even saying on this play, but like when you know, because it was a pattern. They were doing this all the time. They were having the safety cheat towards Tyler. If you know that's happening, let DK start working and let him design plays to throw to DK because, again, we talked about it. DK is this, like, unique blend of speed and size. So the other team's telling you, look, we're going to give that guy one-on-one coverage. Like Kevin was saying, then use him. Like, they're telling you they're stopping Tyler. So then why did it take you 3 quarters to then start throwing it to DK?
Also, after this, go to 6:41 in the second.
Okay. But, like, does that make sense? Like, they're like, here's Tyler. We're stopping Tyler. We're more scared of Tyler. So then use DK earlier. Why did it take you so long?
So the play before this, as you can see, Russell got sacked for -9 yards. Watch Russell on here. So he just got sacked after this last play. Watch his body language right here. So he's got time.
And just threw it right away. Away.
Oh man, our body. Okay, this will probably be a little bit better view. That way you can put it in slow motion and watch his body language here. Drops back. It's got beautiful coverage here. And 72 picks up 93 right here. He had plenty of time and like he just does a quick check down when he has plenty of time in the pocket to do a nice throw downfield. Like he needs to.
Let's see. Yes, I want to see.
I just want to see where everybody is when he makes a throw. Like, is everybody? I mean,
but at the same time,
you can let it develop a little bit more. Yeah, like he's got time.
He has time to let people develop a little bit more. But
I don't like that route combo. That's a terrible route combo.
But when
Swain down here,
Swain down here looks like he's about to get open.
Well, throw him to the outside because Harrison's leaning the other way, leaning inside. Because Harrison was leaning, like Kevin said, Harrison's leaning inside. So Swaim's coming to the outside here. Throw it to the corner right here.
But he makes a quick.
Harrison's hips inside. Boom. Mm-hmm. But he already, like Kevin said, he already committed to throwing to Carson there for like 3 yards.
So Swain right here. This is now open. Like
Well, at this point, Carson has the ball. So I mean,
at the lane.
but
No.
yeah, I see what you're saying.
But even prior, Harrison already had his hips inside, so Swaim's going to get to the outside. But like this is more covered over here when before the ball was thrown. But like
I get Russell is knowing that offensive, and honestly, the offensive line has been pretty solid for
they have
pass rush. Like I think everybody's just so used to the offense being so bad that they don't want to give them credit toward it. They're not. No, don't get me wrong. They're not top 10. They're nowhere near. But they're not. I don't think they're as near the bottom as like what most people think. I think they're doing okay, and they've been better than most units have been in the past. And I think Russell just needs to kind of give them a little bit more credit, even after a sack play, to where you need, if you're going to be this MVP type of quarterback, you need to know that it's okay to win, and when I can't even speak right now, but to stay in the pocket even after you just took a sack and notice that you do have the coverage to where the time to put that ball downfield, so to speak. That's the best way I can put it. Sorry, I just worked 11.5 hours.
It's all right. It's all right.
That's
Well,
disgusting, Kevin.
We just looked at some plays. Tell us some of the plays that you guys want to highlight, you want us to take a look at. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and react to the rest of the NFC West right after this. And welcome back to Washington East to West Sports. If you're watching on YouTube, there was no break. We're right here. So let's react to the rest.
We didn't have a
NFC
jingle or
West.
anything?
Did you? Oh, there. Yep, there we go. Okay. So
back.
let's talk about the rest of the NFC West this week. Arizona at the Jets. Jets are a dumpster fire. If you've seen any news today, 30-10 Arizona. LA Rams at the Washington football team, 30-10.
They're also
Rams,
a dumpster fire.
Also a dumpster fire. But can we just say it was beautiful to see Alex Smith on the field again, even in the loss?
It was beautiful and horrible at the same time because I didn't want to see what I thought was going to happen or could have easily happened.
And even though they're not going to admit it, like as a head coach, like your O-line is atrocious, and you shouldn't put Alex Smith behind that with an Aaron Donald on the other side. Like,
did you see Aaron Donald jump on him one play?
It was like
literally jump on him.
It was the third down after he came in.
Yeah,
it was like immediately after.
Literally jumped on him and brought him down.
I know they had no other option because Kyle was getting a concussion check, but oh my God, like I just felt so like that's what they need to address. Like, I know they also are looking for a quarterback at the same time too, and maybe I don't know.
In Washington, you bench Haskins, and then the week later, like, hey, does anybody want to trade for him? I'm like, you benched him and made him your third starter. It shows you have no confidence in him. And then you're like, hey, teams, does anybody want him? Like, no, please. It's like, you played Alex Smith over him, like.
Well, let's also touch on the final game, which was probably the most surprising result, was Ryan Fitzmagic going into San Francisco and just absolutely clobbering the 49ers, 43-17. Jimmy G came back, was ineffective. I mean, what do you guys? Yeah, what do you guys think of those results? I mean, anything stand out to you? I assume the San Francisco game stands out to you maybe a little bit. At home, like. Just getting clobbered by Miami, even with their injuries, like that is crazy.
League, I did call the Dolphins to win that. I didn't think it would be as ridiculous as they did, but at the same time, too, you got to realize their number one cornerback there works at Arby's full time. So,
are you sure it's not a Jack in the Box?
Even then, they probably should have won. And Kevin, like, I agree. Like a couple weeks ago, I even tweeted it out. Like, I said the Dolphins were not that bad. People are overestimating how bad they actually are. So, and especially if it's Fitzmagic, he's not that bad, but the 49ers still should have won. So I think it was just how bad Jimmy looked when he came back was like the big dagger. Like he looked so lost out there.
I don't feel like he's healthy. Like he just doesn't look healthy, honestly.
Because he didn't feel like he could put weight on that ankle to where you can step in to make your throw.
Then why did he play?
I know.
Yeah, why are you in there?
You hurt your team, man. Like,
because I think they're getting desperate after a Super Bowl loss here. They want to give they don't want the fans just crashing down, because we know what 49er fans will do. They'll crash down the whole place and like rage because like, we're supposed to be good. We went to the Super Bowl last year and now we're 2-4. Well, they are 2-4, right?
2-3.
Oh, 2-3.
Yeah.
Or 2-3.
It was week 6, man. It's
I know.
math. Or it was week 5, man. It's math. Oh crap! Now I screwed it up. Yeah.
But yeah, they need to stop freaking out. But at the same time, too, you have a plethora of injuries to say the least. Like,
Yeah,
gonna
they
happen.
are devastated.
Yeah, like what did you expect? I imagine like if everybody didn't get injured, that's still a solid team, and the NFC West would be even crazier than what it is at the moment. But that's what happens when literally half your stars and starters on your team are literally hurt and out, or just playing hurt at the same time too.
And
So,
they have their toughest part of their schedule is coming up too. So they needed those easy wins, and they did not get them.
Nope.
Nope.
A lot of people are saying their season's kind of done now.
I mean, Rams, New England, Seattle, Green Bay, Saints, then the Rams again, Buffalo. Like, that's the murderer's row right there. Like,
it's not looking pretty. So,
well, I mean, they could win. They are talented enough to win the games, but I'm not. Even good teams are going to lose a couple of those games in there, and you're already looking best case scenario through those games, 5-6 losses. Best case scenario, absolute best case scenario.
yeah.
Fair. A couple other results I want to mention. The Raiders went into Kansas City, knocked off the Chiefs from the undefeated 40-32. Derek Carr looked very good, and I had Josh Jacobs in fantasy football and was quite happy with it. The Browns are 4-1. I feel like last year they had more hype than they deserved, and maybe this year they've kind of figured it out. But their schedule hasn't been the most difficult, but they did beat the Colts, who are 3-2 now. And the Cowboys, I just want to say for Dak Prescott, I saw that live, and that was hard to watch. And then they showed a replay, and you're like, please never show that again. So, thoughts to Dak, and hopefully he gets a contract, because that's an unfortunate situation he's in. Any other results stand out for you guys?
Comment on those. The Browns, I think you just have better coaching, and you have a grown-up in the room with Stefanski. And they're doing what they should do, which is you have 2 monster running backs, even though one's hurt at the moment, and a good running game. Like, you run the ball and just make Baker game manage.
Well, I mean, although Matthew said, like, they've played basically poop.
We're going to find out in the next 2 weeks, because they play the Steelers and then they play the Ravens. So we're going to kind of find out what those.
No, they already played the Ravens.
Yeah, that was their first game. They got crushed.
That's what they lost to.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll play them now that they're kind of established and kind of got things running. I want to see also, but they play the Ravens again in 2 weeks, I believe.
And also
week 14.
Also, Baker's a game manager is tough to say when he has Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. out there. Like,
he has 0 100-yard receivers so far this year, so he's not really, like Kevin said, he is not slinging it.
No,
they're actually not even rushing that well either. Like, how are they winning games?
They're leading the league in rushing right now.
Yeah, they are.
But they're just not like anybody. They've had Hunt, Chubb, Johnson's led the team in rushing. Like, it's just like, no, they've only had like 2 guys go over 100 yards. They're just like,
because they have really good running backs and they're keeping them healthy. So
yeah, I kept Kareem Hunt in my main fantasy league, and that worked out really well so far for $10.
Put in some passes in there every now and then, and they're just
And the Saints yesterday were able to come from behind and defeat the Chargers. And Justin Herbert, when Tyrod comes back, I don't see him getting that job back. And
they already named Herbert the guy.
I know. I just like it. It's an unfortunate situation for Tyrod. It's like you get taken out, not anything your fault, and then your job gets taken. It's kind of unfortunate, but that's part of the business.
Sometimes you're on a bench and a coach stabs you in the lung, Sometimes
it
happens.
And there was Tuesday Night Football today, and the Titans had a week to rest, and, no positive COVID cases in that game for sure, because they absolutely dominated the Buffalo Bills and knocked them from the ranks of undefeated. Any other results stand out to you guys, Sean? Anything you want to mention?
I will say the Rams look super good. However, they've only played the NFC East so far. So, I mean, we'll find out here quickly how good they actually are. But I do think the Rams are more legit than people think. They do. And again, the next game they play is at San Francisco. So one of those 2 teams has to lose. So I guess we're rooting for San Francisco next week.
Yes, but I don't think they're going to win. I think the Rams.
I think Sean McVay is going to do very bad things to that decimated defense.
Yeah, Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are going to have a day.
Yeah, I think
To
so.
say the least, and probably Higbee too. I mean,
Probably Darrell Henderson.
if you have anybody on the Rams, you start next week, no matter what.
For
Yeah,
sure.
they still have the poop of the AFC East to play too. They still get the Jets and the Dolphins. So
God.
All right. Well, this is normally the part of the show where we preview next week's game, but this is Seattle's bye week, so we're gonna do a little bit different stuff. We'll preview the game for Week 7 next week, but we actually had a Twitter question from Brady Larson 89. What do you think that the Seahawks record is going to be at the end of the season? I'm gonna preface this. We did our predictions in the beginning of the show, and we need to get those episodes online, but let's reflect on what we said. So. I believe I said 10-6, and the Seahawks make the playoffs. I feel like that is a little low at this point since they're 5-0, but I don't really know how much more. I feel like 11-5 is fair to go at this point, changing my pick, but I don't know. The Rams always play us tough, and I feel like we lose to each NFC West team once, so there's 3 losses there. Do they get through the rest of that schedule undefeated? I don't think so. So I think I'll increase my prediction now to 11-5. Any of you guys, are you guys changing your prediction? Sean, what do you think?
yes, I said 10-6 with them missing the playoffs. Now I will preface this, and I'm sure Kevin will too, and most of us will. I didn't see them cooking, so I didn't see them winning this game as it was now. So if you told me going into the season that they were going to cook, I would have completely changed my tune. But in 20 years of Pete coaching, he has never shown the ability to do that or willingness to do that. So I had no reason to assume that they would do this. Now that they're doing this, I'm totally happy. I'm going to say 12-4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hesitant to go that far. Yeah.
I could see 13-3, but I'm going to go 12-4.
Evan, what do you think?
God damn it. Sean just took that off. Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're still going to lose to the Rams at least once, if not twice. If we lose, and then I think we're going to lose to Arizona maybe once. I think they're going to pull something out. It'll be like a crazy, because there's always one game where like both teams just kind of struggle.
Yeah.
And it's just like a weird struggle cuddle of just not happiness. And then someone just pulls some crap out of the last play. I'm very intrigued to see the Buffalo game because I think we might lose that.
No, I just like your look right now, Kevin.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we will probably lose to Buffalo because one thing they do very well is air it down deep downfield, and one thing we're very bad at is stopping that.
Josh Allen showed you he's still terrible at completing passes today, Kevin. So
like I didn't get to watch that. I'll have to watch the kind of. I might change it later. Like I said, I haven't watched. I've been at work for 11.5 hours, so I didn't get to see any of those highlights. But if they are able to kind of do deep passes downfield to Diggs and stuff like that, we might be in a little bit of trouble. I still trust Russell in a shootout. Like I said, if it comes, and that's what we should be doing is it's just getting Russ to shoot out pitches. But I would say 12-4 is realistic, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do go 13-3.
Well, yeah, I agree with you because I think what Matthew said is losing one each to the NFC West. So Arizona, San Francisco, the Rams, that's 3 right there. I mean, the rest of the games is Washington, New York, and Philadelphia, and then Buffalo. So like, we better not be losing to 0-5 New York's, and then the 1 win Washington. Like, that's all I gotta say, because we'd have issues. Now, Kevin's right. The 1 wild card is Buffalo, which I'm like, we'll see what Buffalo is, because again, Buffalo played the Jets in Miami, so they haven't played a lot of people either.
And we go to Buffalo, so I mean, we have been pretty good in East Coast games, but
there's no fans or anything like that. So
I know, true, yeah. I don't, the fans won't play a factor, but
on 2, because like as I said, Russell's kryptonite is rain. If we have another home game with rain, that could also be a potential like struggle down the line, because for some reason Russell
just build the dome already.
Yeah, like I don't know why they didn't put a retractable roof like they did over T-Mobile. Sorry, I almost said.
Oh my gosh, the Bills! They play like 4 primetime games in the last like 5 weeks.
Yeah,
that was ballsy by the NFL putting that that way.
Add on to this gentleman's question: Do we get the number 1 seed?
No.
Um,
Have you seen the
boy.
Packers schedule? No. The answer is no.
Well, I mean, look at our schedule. It's not. I mean,
am
it's
looking at the
yeah. I
Packers.
know that's the thing. It's like it's not tough.
Actually, I'm going to pick Sean. I'm going to say yes because I don't think Sean is looking at that schedule.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, so they have the Vikings. They play Tom Brady, and I think they'll probably because Tom doesn't have all of his weapons yet. If that was a full Buccaneers. Now the thing is that Bucs defense is legit. Like Aaron Jones is going to have.
I know, but let's just like you said. I think they both beat Tampa Bay.
Yes, because they don't have the weapons.
And then what else is there? Like
I think Minnesota will put up a fight one time against them because
they might be just like
always do.
They've already lost once to Minnesota, so you better say the next time they're putting up a fight.
So Packers have trouble with defenses that punch you in the mouth, and the Colts defense punches you in the mouth. So I think they could struggle with the Colts.
I think Colts are overrated. I'm just going to throw that out there.
But the thing is, they
have the best defense in the NFL right now.
They also haven't really played a whole lot of good teams at the same time.
I mean, they played Jacksonville and the Jets and Chicago, Matthew. Like, let's just be fair.
That is okay. That's true. That's true. They have played.
And they lost to the Browns and the Jags.
Wait, hold on. Was Trubisky playing or was it Foles?
It was Foles.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, that's fair then.
Now, we saw how they played the 49ers last year, and I know they have a lot of injuries, but this is in November with some people might getting healthy. That also could be a trap game for them as well. Bears are playing really good defense. Khalil Mack looked like a nightmare on Thursday night.
Yeah, but they're overrated too. Like let's just call. They're not 4-1. Let's just.
That offense is terrible. That offense, like Nick Foles, like I don't know why.
I mean, but that defense is carrying them.
That defense is
carrying them, and it's really good.
But we know when it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers playing out of his mind, and that's what's going to dictate that's what dictates the NFL. Your quarterback play.
Niners and Chargers last year punched Aaron Rodgers in the mouth, and he didn't like it one bit, and went into the fetal position.
And both those teams aren't there.
I know, but I'm saying if the Niners get healthy with a Colts defense and a Bears defense that can punch you in the mouth, Khalil Mack literally tossed a man on live TV, went all elite wrestling.
I saw it. I saw it. And then the Bears lost, and the Colts haven't played anybody. And unless Joey Bosa has miracle, what?
Bears won that game.
Did they lose just this last week?
No, they beat.
The Bears beat Brady. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, they lost the week before to the Colts.
Yes. They're 4-1 right now.
Yeah, they're not a real 4-1 team. You know that, Kevin. Like
actually,
no, but I'm saying with that defense, I think they have a chance to stay in the game with Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers doesn't like being punched in the mouth. Now, they currently at the moment have the number 1 O-line in the league, but we'll see what happens when they go against very aggressive front fours and front sevens. That's what I'm interested in. So that's why I think we have an easier strength of schedule going down the field other than the Rams. I think we could get the number 1 seed.
Okay, so Sean, you said that the Bears are not a real 4-1 team. I mean, their record is 4-1, so they are 4-1. But okay, based on what you just said, tell me who your 7 playoff teams are right now.
Oh gosh.
So here, I'll start. Okay, I think that Philadelphia is going to come back and win that division without Dak. So there's their only playoff team.
I agree.
Packers are going to get in.
Wait! You're already writing off the East is not getting a wild card?
Absolutely not.
I'm just kidding.
Green Bay, they're in. Chicago's probably going to be in at this point, I would say.
You think they're getting in over all the Carolinas and the Bucks and the
Well, that's the tough part. I mean, you've got Saints, Bucks, and Panthers all 3-2 right now. If I'm picking 2 teams, I'm taking Saints and Bucks. Sorry, Panthers, I think you're the odd man out there. So there's 5, and then I think it's going to be 2 teams from the NFC West, and I picked the Cardinals to be the winner, so I'm going to pick them and the Seahawks, and somehow the Rams fall off. I don't know.
You think the Bears are better than Carolina? I think.
Well.
What do you think, Kevin? That's a legit question.
I think yes. I think yes, but only because of that defense.
Carolina's defense is not great. It's not as atrocious as a lot of people are claiming it is, but it's not great. But that offense, Teddy Bridgewater can make things go, and he's kind of shown that he's efficient. He's not, and the running game too, even with Christian McCaffrey's going to come back too.
Yeah.
So,
he rumored to come back in not next week, but the following week.
yeah.
But anyway, to answer my own question, I'm going
Just because
Philadelphia, Green
offense-
Bay, Chicago, New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Seattle, Arizona. There's my 7 right now.
Okay, because I'm looking at the Bears' schedule, and they're going to have a very rough time here very soon.
Okay.
They could go 1-5 very easily.
Like I said, I haven't looked at people's schedules. So
Carolina, Rams, Saints, Tennessee, Minnesota, Green Bay. Like, that's not the most fun for the Bears. And Nick Foles. Let's just throw that out there.
like Nick Foles needs to find his Super Bowl self soon. Like, and you have weapons too. Like Miller and Robinson are like good 1 and 2. Like, and you have a good running game, so it's like there's no reason for Nick Foles. I mean, the O-line in Chicago is not great.
The only reason of Nick Foles, not reason for him not doing well is he's not good at football. But like, despite that, but like that's all I'm saying. Like Matthew, there's one team every year who's like, hey guys, I'm really good this year because I'm playing a crappy schedule, aka the Jags, the Carolina Panthers when they went, and then we're terrible the next year. It happens every year. There's always one team they're like, I'm playing the last place team, and I'm getting kind of hot. The Bears like 3 years ago, and then they decided to suck for 2 years.
Detroit every 4 years.
Yeah, like it's just like, so the Bears might be like that, but then when they play a real team, they're gonna get smacked in the mouth.
Well, okay. So, I mean, they've only lost to the Colts, who are over 500 team. They just beat the Bucs.
Just told you I don't think the Colts are very good. So
they just beat the Bucs, who are an over 500 team, and then the other 2 wins are Atlanta
but again,
Detroit.
like you can't make it all off like they beat the Bucs by 1 point at home. Like, congratulations, the Bengals won 2 games last year. Like every team wins a game. Like that doesn't make them.
Yeah, but not every team starts 4-1. That's the thing.
I know they might luck their way into the playoffs, but that doesn't mean I think they're a very good team.
Their
I would take 5 points. They're winning they're averaging winning the game by 1 point.
I will take Chicago, but strictly based on Chicago's defense. I mean, if you're asking me to take an offense, I'm taking Teddy and that Carolina offense all day long. But I think the defense is going to carry them.
I think that's going to be a big game.
Okay, so who are your 7 teams?
Well, it's going to be the Eagles and no one else in the East. Sorry, spoiler alert. I'm going to go Seahawks and the Rams. God, do I want to pick your Cardinals, Matthew? No.
No?
I'll go Saints, Bucks. That's 5. Packers. And my last one, my 7th seed.
So you've got Seahawks, Rams, Saints, Bucks, Packers.
It's between Arizona, Carolina, or Detroit or Chicago. Oh man, God.
You just like totally destroyed the Bears, and if you pick them, you can't live this down. I'm just saying.
I
can't live it down. You just absolutely destroyed the Bears, and now you're going to pick them to be in the playoffs.
I probably won't, but like I'm looking at it, like the issue is going to come down to the Arizona Cardinal has to play the Seahawks and the 49ers and the Rams. That's what it's going to come down to. It's not.
Who you got?
God, and then they have to. Man, I'm gonna go Cardinals.
Oh, okay. Kyler gets in. Kevin, give us your 7 playoff teams at this point.
Okay, so West is taken by the Seahawks at either 13 and 3.
No, I'm changing it, Matthew. I'm taking the Bears.
You got. Mark this down. What part of the episode is this? Hour almost.
Well, they
15
finished.
in? Okay. All right.
They finished with the Jags, Houston, and Detroit. So
you flip-flopped, and you're letting Nick Foles in the playoffs as is tradition.
Well, I mean, it helps when the Detroit drops a game-winning touchdown too to make them 4-1. So it's fine.
It's their own problems, but go ahead, Kevin.
Green Bay will also win their division, probably 12 and 4, maybe 11 and 5. Just because I also saw that the Titans were on that schedule too, and the Titans could give them a rough go.
You think they lose 5 games the rest of this year?
It's possible. Like I said, I think someone could find the weakness of Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, once Aaron Rodgers gets punched in the mouth, a lot of teams are going to try to replicate that. And we all see what happens when he does. Out of the, what are we going, South, it will probably be Bucks because they're going to get healthy.
You've already given up on the Saints?
The Saints are just playing rare, like very weird ball right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on with them. Like Drew Brees looks like he's exhausted after throwing a 10-yard pass. And then like Taysom Hill, what the hell? I don't know what that project did.
I don't know.
I
Because they're
didn't
first place
say
in the division.
he's gonna regress, and I think we're seeing it. Are
Like,
we not?
like what their game plan every game is just some random, like one game they're just like, we're just going to feed Kamara. We're going to ignore Emmanuel Sanders, our number one, with our other number one out. And then like yesterday, they're like, ignore Kamara, and we're just going to try to put it downfield to random receivers. And I'm like, what? Are you, like,
I mean, they're still by DOVA the 8th best team in football.
I know. Like, I think just Tom Brady's going to get healthy, and that defense.
I mean,
So you got
I say that,
Bucks.
Kevin, and they're ranked number 1. So Tampa Bay is. So
Packers, Bucks.
So out of the East, I'm going to actually say it's Dallas.
Dallas. All right. Andy Dalton leads the way.
I think Andy Dalton's going to eventually get with practice, and that receiving core is just stupid. Like, I think that receiving core is going to carry them to the playoffs. Like,
if they throw.
Yeah, if they throw. Good. Because Andy Dalton is a good. The one thing that Andy Dalton does do well is distribute the ball. Even though like a lot of times he does throw picks and he does throw, but at the same time, like I think those receiving cores are going to bail him out, and Philly's playing very weird ball as well. Like I think Carson Wentz has just lost his way or something, and I think they need to actually look at.
Let's root for 6-10. That's what I'm hoping for. 6-10, baby.
Yeah. Oh, with the record, probably 7-9.
I know, but I want 6-10. I want it so bad.
I would not be surprised if it's 6-10. I would not be freaking surprised. So those are your division winners. The Saints will get in. They will be the first wild card because they'll probably have like a 10-6 record. I think maybe 11-5. The Rams will get in. That'll be your number 2 wild card. And then the third, and I can't, just going based off schedule because I haven't looked at Carolina.
Bears.
I'm going to say Carolina, just because their offense, like Carolina has the ability to put up 20 to 25 points a game, whereas the Bears do not. And someone's going to take advantage of the Bears eventually too, to where that defense is just going to get so exhausted for being on the field so damn much that they're just going to get sick of it. And it'll be like, I think 2 years ago when Mitch Trubisky was just playing like crap, and they're just like, we're carrying your ass and we're keeping you afloat. And then they're just like, they just fell off at the end because they were tired. And I don't blame them because they're on the field for 30 minutes a game.
My only issue, Kevin, is while I agree with you, I think they're better than them, is they play the Saints twice, Kansas City,
I know,
Tampa Bay, Green Bay. Like, they have a much tougher schedule than the Bears do. Matthew's going to be right.
You left out the Cardinals.
Matthew's going to be right simply because of luck.
Yeah,
no, I'm going to be right because I'm right. That's
not because the Bears are good, because they play an easy schedule.
Because the defense is good.
No, it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with the schedule they're playing.
They probably will. They might beat the Saints once. I will say that they might beat the Saints once, just in a shootout, in a weird.
But even then, that's already a bunch more losses. Like,
so
that's a tough schedule.
I would say that's 3 losses. I think they're going to lose to Tampa Bay twice, and now I think they'll lose to the Saints.
And Kansas City and Green Bay.
Do they play Kansas City and Green Bay too? Oh shit!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's 5 losses right now.
I'm changing it to Chicago. Then
I know that's what I was saying. Like, I was looking at these schedules, Kevin. I was like, Chicago, they're probably going to get slaughtered in these next 5 weeks. But after that, it's Detroit, Houston, Minnesota, Jacksonville.
What is Arizona's schedule right now? Because they're going to have 2 losses to the Rams, and they
got Dallas next week.
They're going to beat Dallas.
Well,
no,
yeah.
I don't know if Andy. Well, no, because Andy's still not accumulated yet. I think Andy in like 2 to 3 weeks.
All right, here I'll give you next 5 games for Arizona: at Dallas, hosting Seahawks,
lose,
bye, hosting Dolphins,
Bills,
hosting Bills, and then at the Seahawks on Thursday.
That will probably be a win because we're going to be tired. Because we're going to get our face.
They have New England, the Rams twice, San Francisco at the end of the year when they're healthy.
Yeah, so I would say it's probably the Bears, but Arizona could sneak in there. That would be crazy if there's 3 NFC
I
West.
think we agree, Kevin, that the Cardinals and the Panthers are probably better, but because of the
Yeah.
schedule, what will dictate the Bears maybe getting in.
You just got to hope, like, now if that defense gets injury riddled, then there's a shot because that defense is what's carrying that team. Or if Nick Foles just figures out Super Bowl magic, but she's not because Frank Wright's not in his ear. So, and that's the reason why he did, because Frank Wright was literally just whispering him.
But Frank Wright was the coach for the Colts.
Yeah.
Not in the Super Bowl year. Frank Wright was their coach, was their offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Went to the Colts next year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I just also want to do a quick check on our Super Bowl picks. I think they're all still pretty viable right now. I had Green Bay, Kansas City. Sean, you had Saints, Kansas City, and Kevin, you went Baltimore and the Saints. All still looking pretty good right now. But I want to touch on a couple little topics while we still have some time left in the show. Any thoughts you have on what the Seahawks will finish like, please tweet at us, send us a comment on YouTube. Just let us know what you think. But as they showed on the broadcast, Damon Snacks Harrison was in the booth during the game. He was signed to the practice squad earlier in the week before the game. So I imagine he'll probably move up onto the active roster during the bye week and maybe get decent amount of reps in his first game once they come back from the bye week. So how much do you think that Snacks is going to help this defense? Sean, I'll throw it to you first.
I would like to say a lot. I don't think a lot. I think the biggest issue is the outside guys. Like, he'll help a little, I'm sure. But if, like you told me, Snacks or we're getting like, I don't know, like a Clowney or something, I'd rather have the Clowney on the outside. But he'll help double teams and things like that. And, I mean, our run defense actually has been pretty – I think realistically pretty decent. So he'll help. He's a Pro Bowl caliber player, but I don't know if I would pick a position, I don't think I'd pick defensive tackle to get a Pro Bowler right now.
Well, I mean, do you throw him outside because you have Jaron Reed and Puna Ford, and he's a D tackle. Why not?
We're not running what's the Seahawks year? Who do we run outside?
Red Bryant.
Red Bryant. We're not doing any of that anymore. That was stupid. Play Cliff Averill. Stop running Red Bryant out there. Like, why? Stop. Just let your defensive ends work. I like the rotation if they do that. Puna, Rush has been looking pretty good. Kevin's guy, 92.
Robinson. Or are you talking about
Monet? Yeah, like they got some like 4 pieces that they could kind of rotate, 5 pieces they could kind of rotate there, which is fine. I just want the ends to keep doing their thing. I want Robinson to get more playing time. I want to see the guys play outside. Griffin to get more playing time outside.
Mayo looks good.
Yeah, let those guys play.
I think if you play Snacks, the upside to it is that it gets less doubles on Jaron Reed. And if Jaron Reed can continue what he did this week, I think you're going to see a little bit more of what you saw from Jaron Reed 2 years ago. I don't think he's going to have the exact same numbers, but I think he could get to 6 to 8 sacks plus more pressures and getting the quarter and hurry ups. But honestly, I think he'll solidify the run a little bit. And like I said, the most upside is that he'll have like maybe 2 sacks, and he's going to help Jaron Reed not get double teamed as much in the middle, so to speak. So,
yeah, I mean, I hope to see him out there. I'm sure he'll just add some depth to that defensive tackle position, and it'll be nice to have a pretty solid rotation out there. So I hope he gets out on the field in the next game. But I want to touch on one last topic while we have some time. So a couple weeks ago, Jermaine Kearse retired officially. He was with the Seahawks for, I believe, 7 seasons before he moved on to the Jets. I don't think that was voluntary. I think did we trade him in that one? I forget. But
no, he left free agency.
He left free agency. Okay. But he officially retired. So I just want to reflect on his time as a Seahawk. I feel like, Doug Baldwin was the man when Jermaine Kearse was on the team, but Jermaine was such a solid number 2 wide receiver. Like, you couldn't have asked for better hands on a number 2 wide receiver. I think the most memorable plays was when all 3 of us were in the bar at Uncle Sam's in 2014 when they made that comeback and defeated the Packers, and Kearse caught the game-winning touchdown. And I remember in the bar we were all like considering leaving, like with 4 minutes to go or something like that. I think everybody was like starting to pack up. But
Well,
then
I don't know if we're gonna leave, but we're packing up because we're like, this is like,
Yeah,
We were
it's
getting our
we're-
tabs.
we're
yeah,
ready to like leave when this game ends.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. Only I think one person left, but
Oh, okay.
the rest of us stayed.
And then also the catch to bring us to the 1 yard line in that Super Bowl. If that's one of the greatest catches in Super Bowl history, up there with David Tyree and Mario Manningham, I would say. But what are your thoughts on Jermaine Kearse, Kevin?
Um, for a guy who's undrafted, a lot of it I think did help with Russ having, because Russ just makes everybody look better. But at the same time too, I think he just came up in very clutch situations. He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was actually really a number 2. He's probably a number 3.
he was the 3.
Yeah.
Golden Tate and Doug Baldwin were the 1 and 2, and he was the 3.
But for a number 3, I mean, that you're not going wrong there. I mean, he had solid hands. He was pretty good on a 50-50 ball. He eventually learned how to block, even though he didn't in the Super Bowl on the last play. Even though that's not, I mean, also you don't put a 5th string receiver. Well, we're not going to get into that. But and also he showed resilience too. I mean, like he didn't play well in that NFC Championship game up until the pretty much the last play of the game, where he put everybody on his back and just went and got the ball in the end zone and took us to the Super Bowl again. But overall, like I said, he was a solid receiver for us, for a guy that was undrafted and didn't really cost us a whole lot of money. And good on 50-50 balls, good in clutch situations, and a good teammate too. He wasn't like a cancer in the locker room or anything. So, yeah. He's a very humble kid, and he was always willing to learn from like Doug and Golden and Percy and stuff like that. So overall, I'm happy with his career. He's definitely helped the Seahawks, the 4th down play in the 49ers game to get us to the first Super Bowl. Having and also on humbleness too, he had literally a touchdown play taken away from him by Doug Baldwin when Doug Baldwin literally took the ball away from him I can't remember what game it was, but and he said he didn't care even though Doug was mad at himself for doing it, but he was just like, it's all good, man, type of thing. He was a good teammate. So overall, props to him. I wish him the best of luck with him and his family, and hope that he can raise the 12th man flag every now and then.
I want to say something that's going to make 12s mad, and I don't really believe it, but it's going to be funny. But I will say before I say that, you missed one of the plays, Matthew, on the 4th down in the 49er game before they go to the Super Bowl. He caught the 4th and 15 or whatever it was when they just said screw it and go for it. He caught the end zone when Aldon Smith jumped off sides. Without that touchdown, we don't go to the Super Bowl. So even like the year we won the Super Bowl, he made a crazy play to put us there. Mm-hmm. So that was great. I will say this. This is more tongue-in-cheek and funny, but it's putting things in perspective. So Jermaine Kearse is notorious. Everyone's like, hey, he drops everything. He's terrible. DK Metcalf's catch rate percent this year is 56.4. Kearse's career is 56.8. So I'm just going to throw that out there. And Kearse is a better catcher so far than DK. So is this year. So there you go.
Yep.
That's a terrible stat because it doesn't include throwaways and things like that, but it's just funny to point that out.
Yep.
Does he
was not as bad.
Does he get into the Ring of Honor?
No. He was not as bad as people remember him to be. He had a terrible year his last year in Seattle. It was a horrible year, but he was totally good, especially like Kevin said, as a number 3 receiver. He was great. Like Russ trusted him. Yep. He was used, he's catching like 600 yards a season. You're not like banking on him to do a ton. He's perfect. He's a security blanket as your 3rd receiver. And he was cheap too. It's not like you're paying him a ton of money. Carlos Hyde, like you were paying him like basically nothing to be Russell's security blanket. I like him a lot, even though he's a Husky. Hurt to say that.
Yep, that's very fair. Let us know what your thoughts are on Jermaine Kearse. Tell us what you think of Damon Snacks Harrison joining the team. I am at Matt_Beatty. Sean is at Beatty_Sean.
Please tweet at me when I said what I said about Kearse and DK. That was super fun.
And Kevin is at Kev Believes with the first E in Believes being a 3. Before we go, NFC West is in prime time, even without the Seahawks playing, because the Rams and 49ers are on Sunday Night Football, and the Cardinals are at the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. Let's do some predictions since we don't have a Seahawks game to predict. Let's do both games. So I think we all are going to pick the Rams in this one, and I am going to keep doing that. So I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout. I feel like San Francisco's probably going to, go back to the drawing board a lot this week and keep it closer, especially than that game was. So I'm going to say Rams 30-23, and then for the Arizona game, I think Dalton's going to be not quite as good as he's going to be throughout the rest of the year. So, I think Kyler's going to literally run away with it. So I'm going to go with 35-18. Sean, give me your NFC West predictions this week.
Oh, gosh. I say Rams by 10 because that one's trickier because, again, like I said, we don't really know who the Rams are because they've only played the NFC East. But I think San Francisco's a little better than we're giving them credit for. But with the injuries, I don't think that's enough. Sean McVay's working again. So I say 30-20, thereabouts. Rams. And in the Monday night game, I don't think it's going to be particularly close because, like Kevin said, I don't think Dalton's going to quite have it figured out, really, all these weapons, because it's more of a timing thing, too. How much reps has he gotten with, Amari Cooper and things like that? Because he's working with the second-team guys. He's got to quickly figure it out because Kyler is going to eat that defense alive, and so is Hopkins. So I say it'll be probably a 10-point game, too, only because I think they'll maybe the Cowboys get a garbage time thing to kind of bring it a little closer. I'll say 35-25.
Kevin, what are your predictions?
Sean almost got what I was going to take for that. I was going to say 28-18 with a 10-point spread just because NFC West matchups are always just because we know each other really well. There's never really like a curb stomping, even though 10 points kind of is. But at the same time, too, with as many injuries that San Fran is, like if you're San Fran and you keep it within 10 for them, that's pretty impressive. Especially since 2 weeks ago, a New York Giants team held them to 17 points. And now you're going against a better defense, even though they're hurt. But with Sherman out, though, like I just think Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are just going to have a day.
It came out today that he's out longer, actually. I don't know if you guys saw that. Sherman is. So they don't know how long he will not play this next coming week.
I think all three of those with Higbee as well are just going to have a day. And it's just not going to be pretty. Cardinals and Cowboys. Cowboys have not given up less than 30, I think, all year. And with Nuke, a sleeper for fantasy people out there, go get Andy Isabella right freaking now because he's going to get a touchdown this week. With that terrible secondary, I think it's going to be Nuke and Isabella just dropping yards on that team all day. I think this could get disgusting.
Oh man,
I honestly, because I don't think even with a week practice, I don't think Andy Dalton's going to be able to get that offense going quite yet. I'm going to say it's going to be 40-21.
Wow.
I imagine in that Cowboys game, have you guys seen the Friends episode where they play football and they're all covering who are they all covering?
Oh, they're all
the Cowboys on DeAndre Hopkins. They're just going to be like holding him and making Kyler throw it to someone else.
It's Phoebe. They cover Phoebe.
Oh, yeah, they cover Phoebe.
Leaving Rachel by herself. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's going to be very indicative of how the Cowboys play defense.
If they double Nuke, and he's still going to get open into you, even if they cover him, Andy Isabella is just going to have a day on them.
That's when you know DK has become Megatron, is when he starts beating those double teams. That's like the Nuke. That's the elite, like Julio's. Mm-hmm. When they you double them, and they're still like, I'm just going to catch it, and you're just going to watch me do this anyways. Because that's what those...
Did you see Jamal Adams called DK the new Megatron?
I have a thing I want to talk about that way, and that's disrespectful to Megatron.
Yes, it so is. Like
I love DK. Do you want me to give you a quick rundown?
Well, can we name him a different Transformer then? Because I think
I have some numbers that are like basically
Optimus Prime.
DK, or not DK, Calvin Johnson literally by himself and then put up 2,000 yards. Every team in the NFL is like, only cover Megatron. He's like, I'm still just going to put up 2,000 yards.
Mhm.
I have numbers, and it will be disgusting what he did in a 3-year span, how good that guy was. So when we say, like, he could be Megatron, like, Megatron might be the best receiver of all time. Like, if he just kept playing, that dude was disgusting. I'm not saying DK don't shoot for that to be your goal, but everyone else is
That'd be good. Yeah.
underestimating how good Megatron was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he also played on a team that never made the playoffs, so that probably.
Well, hold on. That's not the receiver. His quarterback was Matthew Stafford. DK has Russell Wilson. Who's better in that situation?
Technically, they made the play. I thought they made the playoffs with them.
He made a couple.
I think they made it
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
They played the
Maybe.
Cowboys.
Okay.
and lost.
Can you name in 2012 or 2015? Or no, 2012 when he put up 2,000 yards, who the number 2 receiver was?
Larry Fitzgerald.
No, on his team. Who was the
Oh,
number
on his
2
team,
receiver?
nobody cares.
Exactly. He had 500 yards as a backup tight end.
So, I mean,
It
played
was-
double
hold on.
coverage.
They played triple coverage the entire year, and he put up 2,000 yards of offense. Like, that is literally, I'm triple teaming and double teaming and triple teaming you, and I'm still just you're gonna watch me do it. It was Brandon Pettigrew. He put up 500
I
yards.
remember that motherfucker.
The next receiver was Titus Young at 380.
I remember that.
The number
Boise
2
State.
The number 2 receiver for that team had 40 more yards than Tyler Lockett has right now for the entire season. Calvin Johnson was literally like, I'm Calvin Johnson. You're going to triple team me, and I'm still going to drop 140 on you.
And then never
Do
make
not-
the playoff game.
That is not Calvin Johnson's fault.
I
He put up 2,000 yards by
I know.
himself.
I know.
Like,
I know it's not his fault. It's just a shame. It's like watching Mike Trout never make the playoffs. It's really unfortunate. That's all.
so I'm not saying DK is terrible, but do not disrespect Calvin Johnson that way. Oh my God, like that is absolutely stupid. Brandon Pettigrew had 1,400 less yards than him.
Well, I mean, I think that goes to show you one guy cannot carry a team.
I'm also going to call out like the people at 710 Sports because they were like, DK is elite. As of last night, he is elite, and I was like, did you watch DK play?
The only thing, no,
Like-
I don't want to seem like I'm picking on DK. The only thing he needs to work on is the drops. If
Yeah.
he fixes the drops, because his route running and where he's
It's got
lining
better.
up
Yeah,
is
but like
so much better.
I get Seahawks fans are excited as shit, but Seahawks fans need to calm the F down. Like
Yeah.
they're so, oh my gosh. And that's kind of like the basic summary wrap up is like 12, especially like on Cody Barton, like 12s are just so used to what like past Seahawks teams have done that they just expect it. And it's the same with Homer and stuff like that because of what they've seen with Marshawn. It's like, and they just need to stop.
Well, those teams were the most talented teams of like the last 20 years. Like they were loaded everywhere.
And
Maybe not an elite, like regular football wide receiver, but he's definitely a very good fantasy football wide receiver. He's top 10 every week. So
for a guy in his
DK.
sophomore year, he's doing very well.
yeah.
Oh, he's
But
doing
everybody
amazing.
is acting like he is, like saying he's Megatron, saying he's TO. Like, stop disrespecting Hall of Fame players. like he's not there. I mean, it's good to give him that kind of confidence, but at the same time, too, like let's not go batshit crazy just because he has a great catch. You know, literally two ones before that, as Sean already mentioned, he dropped the ball that was in his hands that literally could have stopped the game right there as well. Like. He also literally made the Dallas game a game because he thought no one could catch him when he's literally 10 yards out from the end zone,
True.
walks in and gets the ball punched out because he's a freaking moron. Like, he still has growing pains, ladies and gentlemen. I get we're excited to have a guy that could be a number one receiver, even though you already have Tyler Lockett, who is a number one receiver, but nobody recognizes it because he's not 6'4".
And doesn't have a good look with a shirt off.
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. Well, I mean, I'm sure Tyler's fit and cut, but yeah, he's not 6'4" and jacked.
Yeah.
But like again, like it's when we compare it to Megatron, Megatron was literally by himself. Like DK has Russell and Tyler. The year before, so everyone's like, oh, he had that 1 year where he set the record. He dropped 1,700 yards. The next receiver was Nate Burleson, who only had 700 yards. DK and Calvin Johnson had 16 touchdowns that year. Again, Calvin is like, I'm by myself. You know the offense is me, and I'm still going to do it. You cannot stop this. That is like the truly like all-time elite receivers. That is like Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., Megatron. That's it. Like everyone's like, not even Julio, not that. Like They are by themselves. You know it's coming, and he's still going to do it to you. DK is not there yet, guys. Please calm down.
As an example to 12 fans out there, this is what you're doing right now. Like a year, during the Super Bowl year, there were Super Bowl fans or 49er fans that saying that Garoppolo was better than Brady.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
You're literally doing that right now. Look into my eyes. You're doing that right now with Metcalf. You're saying that he's better than Hall of Fame wide receivers. Knock it the F off. Like, he could possibly get there, and he's doing great things. We're excited. We're 5-0. We're enjoying the ride, even though we should have lost this game. As another former wrap-up, we should have lost this game flat out. We should be 4-1 right now. We got lucky as hell. Just calm down on the excitement. Let's not be 49ers fans. Like, gather yourselves. Don't let your emotions get over you, 12s, and actually use this right up here, this thing called the brain, and look at stats before you open this thing that's called the mouth. Before we actually
Kevin's just
Yeah,
going.
yeah, he's going.
like I'm seeing people like the from other Seahawks podcasts saying like, oh, sit Barton and stuff like that, like halfway during the first, and then he goes out and like saves the game for us. It's like, calm down your little panties. It's like, stop making these brash, like, oh my God calls when it's like only 5 games in and you're only seeing like 1/4 of crap. Like,
Okay.
seriously.
There's 2 things I want to say this, Matthew, then we'll wrap it up. I'll let Kevin have the last word. I thought I was going to be the Skip Bayless of this show, and Kevin just called out all the 12s and called them stupid. Wow. Okay. And then
You don't want to be the Skip Bayless of any show, by the way. Go ahead.
Speaking of Skip Bayless went and said that Russell Wilson is incredible.
I know. And then 2, for all the people freaking out and everything like that, Kevin Arnold at halftime said they had to run hurry up offense because they had to score points. It didn't work. It did not work. That is not how they won the game, Kevin.
But them scoring on the first one made them make mistakes.
No.
They only got turnovers because Kirk Cousins threw the ball. They got turnovers because Kirk Cousins threw the ball and made mistakes.
No. We did not want them to run. No. Kevin, you're literally saying like, we have to score now. There's only this. I'm like, we have to score. I'm like, we're down 13 with 30 minutes left. We have time. Like, let's calm down.
But at the same time, you're also, when I was saying that too, you were saying that the Vikings defense was just going to roll over and stuff like that.
I didn't say they were going to roll over.
But that's what I'm saying.
Our offense was going to score. Our offense was going to score. Russell's not putting up 0 points.
Guys, we have Megatron. We're fine.
Yeah, we got Megatron.
Only caught up because they made mistakes on offense.
Because they got holding penalties. Yeah, I agree. Holding penalties.
Yeah. But, okay, bring up the tape again, and I'm going to show you. Go to 7:58, and I'm going to show why this doesn't matter. Third quarter, 7:58. Third quarter, 7:58. Bring it up. I'm going to show you why offensive holding doesn't mean shit when you throw it right after. And that's what they do.
We're at an hour 35, so we're gonna.
It does. You're on your your 15-yard line and throwing. Kevin, what's the all-time scoring touchdown percentage when you're on your 15 backed up 10 yards?
No, I'm saying when you get a holding on first and then go 1st and 20, if you throw it and don't do dumb draw plays like the Seahawks do, holding doesn't matter one damn bit.
It does matter. Being 1st and 20 matters. You're gonna get first downs less than if you don't.
But the reason why they didn't score on those other ones is because they did weird intermediate short routes, and Kirk Cousins freaked out on 4 people rushing him when they could have just ran the ball, and literally the turnovers don't happen. Period.
They might not score. They scored. They walked down the field.
But they drained the clock, and they put the Seahawks back into bad position. They literally gave the Seahawks good positioning on both times. Like literally, like Russell's in the red zone. So it's
like the same thing. Like, well, because they didn't get 4th down, it was a bad play call.
I'm saying it's harder to score when you run more clock off and put Russell back on his own 10 versus
it is
Russell the ball at the 30 on their own 30.
What if they had to throw it then? Because if you 1st and 10, you're 1st and 20, you're going to punt it anyways. So
but that's the thing. We only scored once in the first quarter, and then they're just like, throw it. Well, they ran it once, and then Madison went 3 yards, and they're like, throw. And then that's when the little fumble thing happened.
Kevin, the other option is like run it 2 more times and punt anyways.
Well, I'm not saying not throw, but they went away from their main game plan, which was controlling the clock by running, because they scored once, and then they made a mistake, and then they went up, they tied it, And then they really freaked out, and literally on the next play, Kirk Cousins throws an interception because he freaked out of what happened under last play, was under pressure and made a bad choice.
And KJ made a great play.
And KJ made a great play. Yes, it was a little bit of both. I'm going to kind of agree with both of you boys there.
it was more KJ, but that's fine. It was more KJ, but that's fine.
It was a little bit more KJ making a great play because honestly, by the distance of how much the receiver was behind KJ, you can't really do like a Russell ball where it goes in because he's literally only like 3 yards behind KJ.
It's an impossible throw.
There's no way to get it to him.
He's got to lob it a little bit.
Yeah, and then the receiver has to, but with the route the receiver's going, he has to kind of do what Matt says and go to the sideline and just do a toe tap and out. Unless he can just stop, cut, and go, which is I doubt he's going to.
Or unless the receiver and the quarterback like look at each other in the eyes and he lobs it
like
over and leads him down the field.
Really did a nice backpedal and went up and got it because he's a sexy athletic freak.
What we're saying is don't freak out.
But at the same time too, like they did need to score, and they literally got very lucky because
they should have scored in the first half. Like exactly.
Yeah. But the Vikings freaked out because we did one thing and they gave us opportunities and we took advantage.
Well, they should have just scored in the first half and won the game.
That's true.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson just took advantage of it and did his normal thing and did a shootout. And then they turned it into a shootout and Russell won.
You could argue that they got lucky too, because I mean,
they absolutely got lucky.
There was luck on both sides.
Yeah, but again, like KJ makes a great play, and another play happens, and then the ball's just fumbled, and then there you go.
Honestly, like if Russell doesn't throw that stupid pick, like they probably go down the field or at least kick a field goal and even get more points. But Russell makes a terrible decision to just instead of throwing it out, of trying to get Carson, who is ineligible to even touch the ball because he went out. And it was like, what are you doing? I'm like, just throw the ball away. And he's just like, no, Carson, you get it. Even though that's a penalty. It's like, oh my God, because he's not,
It's to bring it all the way back, I just want to say to Seahawks fans online, the Seahawks will lose a game this year.
Yes, they're
going to happen. So the amount of freaking out and texts I got from like other people like, we suck, we're trash, like quote, we're trash. I'm like, guys, like just yes, there's gonna be games where we look bad, and it's okay to lose. Every team loses. The 16-0 Patriots lost a game that year. The most important game, they lost the most important game, but they still lost. Like teams will lose games.
They're like, even I guarantee when we play like either the Jets, Giants, or
it's gonna get close. Yeah, there's gonna be close.
There's for sure. Points event like in some matter. They're not just gonna roll over and die. It's not gonna be a 40-0 win.
And like Kevin said, one of those games will be close, super close.
Yeah. And like all the 12 men on Twitter are going to be like, oh, sit Shaq. He's looking stupid out there. He gave up a 20-yard
Cody Barton, he just shoot him.
Yeah, get him off the field. Go get a fan out of the stands. They'll play better than that piece of crap, even though. Like, I even saw, like, tweets like, I think I saw a tweet like week 2. They're like, Bobby just did a terrible play. What the fuck is he doing? I'm like, he's going to have a bad play every now and then. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, seriously, like, we're not perfect. Everybody's just so used to this Legion of Boom. And even kind of to, like, Sean's extent and, like, Ben Baldwin, it's also the reverse of, like, giving the O-line too much crap. And, like, they are better than what they have been, but we're so used to them being complete dog shit that we want to say that they're still dog shit. But they are making progress and strides, and we're seeing that in film. Are they a top 10 offensive line? Fuck no.
They don't need to be.
They don't need to be. Exactly. When you have Russell, who's mobile, and you have a good running game and a good running back in Chris Carson, and you have Penny probably coming back here, hopefully in a couple weeks, who's going to complement that, you're fine. You don't need to be a top.
And let Megatron cook.
Oh God. All I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to like shit down 12th man's. Like, it's okay to have that, but like just enjoy the season
and breathe.
Yeah, breathe. Like, guys are so, like, you think that, like, one loss is just going to end the damn season. Like, they're going to lose.
And we didn't even lose. We were like, down in the fourth quarter. It was, like, ready to, like, hang themselves. They're like, oh, my God.
We're going to lose the Rams not only once, but probably twice. And we're going to lose to Arizona on Thursday night because we're going to be so banged up from the Rams game. Like, it's going to happen. You guys are going to freak out. You're going to think the sky's falling. It's okay. There's 3 wild card. Even if we do, like, lose 5 games, there's 3 wild card teams this year. And the rest of the NFC doesn't look great. Like, as we were saying, we were literally trying for like 20 minutes just to think of who the third NFC wildcard team could be because, like, you have a bunch of
and it's Nick Foles and the Bears.
Yeah, you have Nick Foles
Like,
or Teddy Bridgewater and a terrible Carolina offense or defense, excuse me. Like, you're going to get over that. We're going to make the playoffs, boys and girls, unless, heaven God forbid, I'm going to
don't even say it. We're done. I just want to say though, Kevin, we tell those 12s that even the year they won the Super Bowl, they lost 3 games. Do we tell them that or like
What?
not? Like
They
yeah,
did
like they
perfect.
lost 3 games that year. I don't know
They
if
did
people know
perfect.
that, but they lost 3 games.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So they will lose some games this year. It'll be okay. Just breathe. The
All right,
internet was very fun.
So,
It's-
tell us what you think of some of this late reaction from Kevin and Sean here. I was just happy to not be in an argument for once, just sit back and watch. That was beautiful.
Kevin yelled at the 12s. That's gonna be great.
Let us know what you think of Kevin's rant there. It was beautiful, if I'm being honest, but I'm kind of curious to see what other people say. So let us know on Twitter. Put some comments in our YouTube page. Just a couple of things before we get out. We will be back next Tuesday to preview the Seahawks game when they actually have a game. But we'll have some other topics to cover without no game recap or no film to watch. So we'll have some other things to talk about. Also, just wanted to say Larry Fitzgerald should be included in that list of elite wide receivers for Hall of Famers.
Sure, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was episode 7 of Washington East to West Sports, and we will see you next week.
Kevin did